Welcome back to A to the show, guys. Today we have a new comedian on our podcast. We have Yaser Al. Okay, I might butcher this by accent. I apologize, but it's
Okay, it's all good.
Al-Nyrabeah. Nyrabeah?
So very close. Al-Nyrabeah.
Al-Nyrabeah. Okay,
Nyrabeah.
there we go. Best amazing way to start an intro, of course.
Yeah.
He's an actor, writer, and comedian born in Florida to Syrian refugee parents and raised in Ontario, Canada. His stand-up comedy explores the dualities of growing up in the West while embracing his rich Syrian and Muslim heritage. Yasser has performed at iconic venues like the Comedy Store, Hollywood Improv, and the Ice House. And as an actor, Yasser trained in theater during his youth and continues to pursue his craft in Los Angeles. He's also developing a screenplay based on his mother, Heba Dabbag's groundbreaking memoir, Just 5 Minutes. Okay, so it's called Just 5 Minutes, 9 years in the memoir, 9 years in the prisons of Syria. Dedicated to both storytelling and laughter. Yasser performs nightly at comedy clubs across LA. Yasser, thank you for coming on. And I know we're all feeling like shit today, but but we power through. We're here. We're here for the audience. It's like
Nothing
Ali's
better
fighting
than
off
get
the
together.
the illness. Yasser is high on nighttime. No, I'm joking. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much.
Nighttime severe cold and flu. I'm
Free-
drinking
Free
Gatorade over
advertisement.
here.
Free
There you go.
advertisement. Nighttime cold and flu that I'm
Yeah.
taking in the
Oh
day.
man, I'm just on water, man.
Switch to
I'm just on
daytime.
water.
Hey Saeed, you got me in trouble, bro. You gotta stop, dude, using our Instagram account to like random women. Because it's getting us in big trouble, bro. Literally yesterday, my girlfriend, she was like, "There's this video of this girl that just sits on cakes. That's her thing. She sits on cakes, smashes those cakes. She makes a cake. She sits on the cake." And then my girlfriend asked me, she's like, "Why are you liking and commenting on all these videos?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You know what I'm into? This is not what I'm into." And then she shows me the comments, and the comments are like, "Ooh, I'm so hungry for cake right now." Oh my god. And I'm like, it has to be Saeed, bro. So I'm calling you out
Oh
right
my
now
God.
in the podcast, bro.
And this was the only time you could talk to me about this. Yasser, can you back me up? I don't know, man. What do I say?
Sometimes you have to like the show, and for the sake of the diversity of the show, you guys have to have people of moral values on. You have to also
Exactly.
support people that sit on cakes, and I'm assuming she's doing it like half naked or something, or is she?
No. She's fully clothed.
Oh.
It's slightly halal, it's clean.
Oh, it's halal sitting on a cake. Okay.
No, yeah. It's just sitting on like whole process of baking the cake, like showing us all of the design and everything, and then in the end, that's it. She just sits on the cake, like literally nothing. She just sits on the cake. And to be honest, the cake looked good before. Not her cake, the cake that she baked.
Yeah.
It looked good, and I started wanting cake.
She just merges both cakes together, and
Yes.
they become a cake.
And then obviously, people I have two good intentions, Ali. What are you doing?
Do it on your own
I'm the nice guy.
account. Don't use the A2 account, because then my own girlfriend's gonna be asking me questions like, "Oh, why are you liking this random video of this random girl that freaking stomps on car vehicles all day long? She's freaking jumping on a freaking Honda Civic, freaking wearing black boots, jumping on a Tesla Cybertruck, bro."
Okay.
I'm like, bro, it's not me.
First of all, I don't remember that. I only remember the cake. It was like literally the first like I've done in maybe.
He was
months.
more like the like was for the cake. It was like, wow, this is good. Like he was supporting art, like the art of baking.
The baking part, yeah.
Yeah. I got you, man. I got you.
You're defending someone that's messed up in the brain. You need to freaking clean your brain and reset it, bro.
Oh,
Reset, turn it off and on, bro. I don't know.
Man, you know when you're just like scrolling through your phone at like 12 to 2 a.m. and your brain isn't actually working and you're doom scrolling and it just keeps going and going and going. That's how I got to the cake.
That's your first issue. First of all, you need to be sleeping, bro. You need to be sleeping. Turn it off and on. That's how it works.
Can we stop making Ali? Can we stop making this about me? We have Yasser here. We're here to ask him questions. We're here to talk.
You're coming about me because I'm just like, I gotta find this cake sitting lady. as soon as the show's over, I'm just gonna be like, what is it?
Yeah,
Do you guys know her ad name?
I have no Side knows.
I think it's literally just cake sitting on cake or something like that. I don't know. Like,
Cake
Cake
City.
sitting on cake. That's so
I don't
funny.
remember.
All right,
Cooks on
Yaser.
cakes.
So you're
Oh
living
my
a good
God.
life, man. I know. Saeed's just cold deprived. He's in the UK right now. He's freezing his tush off. He has a very cold
Ah,
tush because of the freaking cold and the snow and the rain. And so
yeah.
he needs some warm tush to make him feel better.
What made you go to the
Hence the
UK?
cake.
You live there?
No, to study, and
Oh,
now I'm working here,
I see. I see.
and well, no longer. We'll see. We'll see how long I stay here.
Yeah.
Information to be shared. Yeah. What about you? What made you be Canadian?
Um, I mean, none of it was by choice, really. My parents, like, they both fled Syria. And my mom went to Canada, and that's where she got her asylum from. And
Mm,
my dad went to Chicago, and that's where he got his asylum from.
Arkham
And
Asylum.
yeah, and it was a lot easier back then to like get like citizenship, like asylum citizenship back then. So like they just each had their own like she was Canadian Syrian, he was American Syrian, and they met later on, and then they got like married, started having kids. But it's like the citizenship when it for refugees is very complicated. So like none of them could permanently live in the other's country, even though they were technically married, for a while at least. So I just grew up in Canada, and we'd visit my dad randomly, and we'd go back and forth, back and forth. But the silver lining is that I automatically got dual citizenship. So
Oh wow. You're Canadian and
yeah,
mhm.
USAan. Wow. You're
yeah.
not Syrian.
No, not
Wow.
Syria. We're banned from Syria, but
Oh shit.
Canadian.
Oh. You can
Yeah,
never
we
Uh,
go.
we can.
how
Well,
come?
actually, to be completely correct, now we can. Now, like,
Woo! You
as,
should do it.
Officer Asad, like, they brought him down. But before, my mom. So here's the long story. My mom, when she was in college, she had a big family that was living in Syria or whatever, and like
Mm,
anybody who would protest against the government would just like vanish, like they disappear. Either they would like, the government would take them, you'd never see them again.
mhm,
Their bodies would be floating in rivers somewhere. Just it was just like horrific things, and her brother, my uncle, he was protesting for like free speech, and his name started circling around, and he fled and told everybody to leave, but nobody really believed him because he like kind of always his whole life would like say stuff like that. This is just the one time that they had to actually believe him. They didn't, and then the regime came to my mom's dorm, and they basically just took her as bait, and they asked for just 5 minutes of her time. That's why the book is called Just 5 Minutes. And she just thought that they were just going to ask her questions about him. And they just put her in prison, and she was there for 10 years. So from 19 to 29.
mhm.
And um, while she was in there, they did. We're going to let all the depressing stuff out at the beginning of this question. They killed all her family. And when they let her out, they were like, okay, don't talk about this. We're gonna let you out, but like don't mention anything, just live your life or whatever. And she went to Canada and she wrote the book Just 5 Minutes, which was like the first book that had like a first person perspective of what was happening in Syria. Because still at the time in the late 80s, early 90s, nobody was really like knowing exactly what was going on. They just knew something kind of was happening, but they didn't have like full a full concept of or a clear idea of like what was really happening in Syria. So she's not like the actual reason, but like she's like the final straw that caused a lot of news channels to start covering Syria. And
Mhm. Yeah.
once the government heard of the book and it got published or whatever, they banned her and the next three generations of her kids, or the next three generations of her family from entering Syria. So if I went to Syria, it would be like public execution. And as soon as this man, it was like 48 years, uh, until he got taken down, Hafiz al-Assad. As soon as he got taken down, my mom was like, I'm going to Syria. And I'm like, dude, wait a little bit. Like, we don't know what's happening. Like, so literally, like, 3 days later, she started packing her bags, and when she was at the airport going, I called her and I was like, "Hey, it was nice knowing you. You were a great mom." And she was just like, she was yelling at me because I was like, obviously I was joking, but at the same time, I'm like, "Yo, she really didn't wait, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you just can't trust like these kind of things. Like, I don't really have like a lot of
Mm.
trust in institutions, or even even when like subdivision or the people take down a government. Look what happened to Egypt. Like, they took down the government, and as soon as they took them down, like, just like criminals and mobsters kind of took over. I think now they're doing better, but at the beginning it was terrible. But yeah, I've never been, never had citizenship, so I just stayed in Canada and Florida my whole life.
And your mom, she made it to Syria. Okay.
Yeah, she's living there now. It looks like a horrible condition, but she's happy. She's kind of like, she's not famous. I would say she's more infamous there because of everything that happened. So when she
Second
got there,
son.
like, they welcomed her with like do you know those like traditional, I don't know if they exist in every Arab country, like the sword fighting stuff, like where it's like a whole
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
show. Like, they
yeah.
welcomed her with that, which was like kind of cool.
Yeah,
Uh
that's horrifying.
yeah.
Swords when you first land, dude. After you've been like kicked out of the country, I'm like, bro, keep the swords. Holster your swords. Don't pull them out
Thankfully,
unless you plan on using them.
thankfully, she knows what those, like, when sees their outfits and the type of swords they have, she knows exactly what they are. But like, to somebody who's never seen that before, and you're first landing in Syria, and you see a bunch of guys with swords like waiting for you, that's got to be like the scariest feeling on earth.
So you
It's
had to
like
go
going
now.
into attack formation, man.
Yeah, and we did like, but my parents wanted me to see like kind of the culture like firsthand, even though we couldn't go to Syria. So we lived in
Mm.
Jordan for a while and a tiny bit in Egypt. Um, before we moved back to the United States.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
And
you have no influence, like other than your parents, you don't have any direct Syrian influence on yourself, right?
I wouldn't say I don't have like first hand perspective of the country, but
Mm.
my dad he's a sweet shops owner, like the baklawa and all that kind of stuff.
Halawiyat.
Yeah, halawiyat. And he had one for like my entire childhood, and he'd only employ, mostly it was like Syrian workers, a little bit of like Egyptian workers, but they were mostly Syrian. And when I was 9, parents, they don't care. Arab parents, you could be 8 or 9, and you're like, you're going to work for the summer. And I was working
Yeah.
there for like a while, and being around those guys, I think, is what gave me like my Syrian influence. It's like
Mm.
because they were just like unfiltered dudes that would speak their mind, talk about like life there and stuff like that, and that
That
kind of,
doesn't sound very Syrian to me. Every Syrian I know is a very scared to talk about Syria. Not gonna lie.
no, they're definitely scared to talk about the negatives of Syria, but they weren't like afraid to talk about like the culture, and that's kind of what I took from them. But if I asked them about like the government, they just curse it one time and just move on, and I'm like, all right, clearly you got PTSD. I don't want to. That's like talking to a war veteran and being like, "How was war?"
I
And he's
know,
like,
right?
"Ah, damn it," and just walks away, and you're just like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna press you about this anymore."
What a horrifying thing, Yasser. I mean, the difference between you and me is that we were born 1,000 feet away from each other,
Yeah,
1,000 miles away from each other. Like not literally born, but our heritage. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like just by one border, because we're Lebanese here. And Lebanon and Syria are very close. They're like
yeah.
literally right next to each other. Except Lebanon's, I don't know how it's managed to maintain normalcy despite all the insanity on all
Yeah.
corners, all sides. It's maintained it's maintained itself. It survived.
Hmm.
Syria, on the other hand, there's so many horrors coming out of there. And who knows? Like if that never happened to your family, you would have been, the Charlie Brown of freaking Aleppo.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Or I mean, Syria kind of like ate shit after. after like in the 2011 or not. So like I think about that all the time. Like it's kind of like almost a um guilt of living like that. Like whenever I see people like in Palestine, or like I see people in Syria, and I'm like, yo, that, like if my parents didn't leave, I would still be there. That would be me. Um, and when I came here, I chose to be a comedian. Like it's just like,
I
um,
know what a dishonor.
yeah, I know, right? They're like
Wow, a bit harsh.
me, my all the people in Syria from my neighborhood are just like, oh, you're probably doing great things in America, and I was like,
He's a
I'm
clown.
a
He's a
clown.
clown with a big red nose. Squeeze it. Oink, 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 oink.
Um, but I mean, like, hey, I
Does
guess
that not embarrass you at all? The thought of going back to Syria, you one day, one day you're gonna have a family, you're gonna take him to Syria, you're gonna be like, okay, guys, we're gonna do it. And then you go to Syria and they're like, hey, who's this guy? I'm an actor, clown. I'm an actor.
I honestly won't even tell them about comedy. I'll just tell them that I'll only mention my filmmaking because I feel like that's the least dishonorable, even though it's still dishonorable. It's just the least, at least like there's technical skills behind it. You're good with electronics, handling a camera, and I'm just like, yeah, no, definitely. And
Journalist, you're a journalist. Yes, yes, yes. No, you're not. You go on stage and you make people laugh, bro.
yeah, and I think now they
Or
have a better
you
concept
could
of it.
always pick a career that like no one really knows much about, but except that it makes a lot of money, and just tell them it's like, yeah, this is like, for example, some electrical engineer. I've never met an electrical engineer that's an Arab in my life. You could just say, yeah, I'm an electrical engineer, and I. Okay, never mind. That's a bad idea.
Sorry, that's offensive.
Anyway,
Swipe. Next
I'm
joke.
trying to give a suggestion based on like the fact he's an actor.
Said, have you ever done an
Could put it
improv
up.
class in your life, Said?
Aborted mission. Aborted mission.
Said, seriously, you need to start taking
You didn't seem.
improv classes.
It wasn't selling.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been a good idea. You guys didn't like it. Fine.
I was with
I
you.
get it.
I was with you.
Okay.
Yeah, you were going somewhere for sure.
You were going somewhere, dude.
Yeah.
And then you didn't stick the landing. Wah, wah. Okay. Yasser, Arafat, let's talk about stand-up comedy because I think you would love it in Lebanon, honestly, because we have so many amazing stand-up comedians and there's a huge underground comedy club scene and tons of Lebanese are there and Syrian and all kinds of people and English and Arabic and stuff. You should try to go.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that great when it comes to like Arabic stand-up, but I would definitely be down to do like English. Yeah, there's a lot of Lebanese comedians that I know or know of in the industry that are like very, very some of the funniest people on earth. And also Lebanese people, like even when Syrians are talking to each other and like somebody's Lebanese, they always have like a good sense of humor, you know.
Lebanese people do.
Yeah, but it was always Lebanese people and people from Halab that were like,
Halab.
yeah, that always had like a very also because like the accent a little bit, but but their sense of humor, like they're more willing to like laugh or like make things.
Dude, Syria has some really funny TV shows. Daya Daya. You ever heard of that
Yeah.
show? It's one of my favorites. They crack me up all the time. Side, you ever see that show? It's about a village
No,
that's lost.
my addiction was Bab al-Hara, bro. I know
It's
it's a bit of a cliche. I get it, but yeah.
Hara had streets shut down. Like I remember I was living in Jordan at the time, and like places would like it would premiere I think in Ramadan, like right after your iftar, like they would put a show, and people would just like be at home. Nobody's on the streets, and like if you're out on the streets, and it's like, what do you know Bab al-Hara's on right now? And then you'd be like, oh no, and then people would run back home. But yeah, Bab al-Hara had places shut down. That was great. I feel like that's the Lost of the Middle East, like the Lost TV show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Lost of the TV show of
You can never forget the theme song as well. It's like مين بده يتحدى
yeah.
عيد الحارة مين أدى مين بحمي باب الدار من حق نسور أدى.
There you go.
Oh,
And they had really good plot twists. I'm not gonna lie, like for like an old cliche TV show, like the plot twists are pretty nice.
Bro, the names were the best. Like Abu Nar, the father of fire. Who names his son Fire? Like, like that sounds like an American thing. Not you wouldn't like not a Syrian, Bab
It's a
al-Hara kind
nickname,
of
bro.
thing.
It's a
Yeah.
nickname. Bro, speaking of, Said, did you write this question? We have questions prepared, but the very first question says, I hope you're ready to burn
Ali,
at the
don't
stake,
even
bitch.
fucking try. Don't even fucking try.
I didn't write that.
Don't even fucking try. Look at how you're dressed. Reread that and then apply it. Read that statement and look at yourself in the mirror.
I hope you're ready to burn at the stake, bitch. What does that mean, Said?
Well, I hope
I
you're
don't
ready
Yes,
get
to.
it.
sir. Yes, sir. Look at both of us.
Uh-huh.
So the statement is, "I hope you're ready to burn at the stake, bitch." Now look at both of us. Which
Mm.
one do you think actually said that?
Oh, you're trying to say that I wrote it, but I didn't do that. Really? I wrote
I'm pretty sure you wrote this, Ali.
it?
Oh, you guys have like a ghost at the.
Next question. Okay. Schizophrenic grandma. You have one?
I had one,
Oh.
yeah.
What happened?
Thankfully not anymore. She's gone.
Oh my
Uh,
god. You think
no,
she went to
Life
heaven
count.
or what?
no, I only knew her like the last 3 years of her life. She was, I mean, I hear great things about her. But I only knew her like the thing is, do you know when people are just like, oh, I want to live. I hope you live to like your, or when Arabs are like, happy birthday, Abal,
المية.
yeah, Abal Mia. Why I don't want to live till I'm 100, like because it sounds nice if I'm like in this shape until I'm 100, but like she was like 98 ish, and like the last 18 years are just like horrific. Where it's like no offense, but I'm like die already. Like you're not living a good life. She was like schizophrenic. She was like paralyzed from the neck down. She
Oh
had
my
dementia.
god. So she just had so many thoughts in her head going on. She was like,
Everything.
I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm trans.
It's like,
Woo!
have you seen A Beautiful Mind?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine that, but he can't walk and he also has dementia. That wouldn't make a great movie at all. But yeah, I knew her like at the end. I'd never met her when she was like of like full like sane mind. So
Yeah.
it's like the most of the time that I was around her, all I felt was like sympathy. Where I'm just like, damn, like you're not living like a good life at all. She would always say outlandish things like she would sometimes, I know I just say it sometimes in my stand up where I'm like she would tell me that I'm never gonna own land and that my parents aren't my real parents, but like sometimes she'd tell because I knew my just casually. Um
What if she was right? Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when I'm younger like that, like I don't think everything she's saying is like false. Where I'm like,
Oh shit.
because she would say like she would say certain things that I'm like, okay, fact. Like it's raining outside, it's hot
Yeah.
in here. Your parents aren't your real parents. I'm like, well, the first two are right. What's gonna make the third one wrong? But she would like she sometimes when she because she they had her bed like sometimes they'd have her bed in the living room or like in my bedroom so she can be around somebody, and she would like tell me that she snitched on uh she like told the Russian government about my parents. And I know my parents had problems with their government, but I'm like, oh,
Russians.
what'd she tell the Russians? Like, and I'm never like, I'm 8, so I'm not just like, okay, like I'm gonna ignore you. I'm just like, oh no, like something bad's about to happen. But she ended up like, she passed away like when she was like 98. Um, and it was like, to me, I kind of like or just like she's better this like now she can walk and she can talk, she can live a decent life like in the afterlife because you know how like Arabs like it's this is not like the real like my parents' philosophy is like this is not like this is just like the before life really is when you die, and death is not for the living. I mean funerals aren't for the living. My mom's philosophy is funerals aren't for the dead, they're for the living.
Yeah.
Like that funeral wasn't really for her. We weren't sad for her. We were sad for like everybody that was left behind. And I just
Whoa,
remember
say that again. Funerals are for living people?
no. My mom would always say, funerals aren't for the
That
dead;
is crazy, dude.
they're for the living. Because you're not mourning the people that like passed on because they're in a better situation now. You're mourning the people that they left behind.
Yeah, I got you, Yasser.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's
now
like
I got you. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today.
no, all
I
good.
was thinking that you're dedicating the funerals to the living people. I'm like,
No. The funeral, like the, basically the
putting
concept
living people
that
in caskets, bro. I'm like, what's going on in Syria, bro?
everybody's just laying in one. No, that I think the concept of that statement is that like the people that already passed on, they're not benefiting off of a funeral. They're not. It's not like they're have a higher chance of like going to heaven or they're living a better afterlife. The funerals are for like the sons and the mothers and fathers and brothers that are left behind. But all I can remember was when she passed on that my dad was like crying. I kind of wasn't crying. I was kind of like sad because I was like, obviously it's like funerals are sad, but my dad was like gone too soon, and I'm like, big dog, like 98 years old. I think we're good. Like I think that statement can be left
Yeah,
out.
98. After 90 years old, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready. No rush, but
Ali, when would you like to end it? When?
right now, bro. Freaking finish me right now. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I've done everything I
No,
need
no,
to
but
do.
seriously, what do you guys think would be like the best time to just the sweet spot?
That's a good idea. I mean, good question. Um,
Not giving
I,
out any ideas. Hey,
I
I
would say
think
80,
80.
or is that
80.
too?
No, it's respectable. I like it,
I feel like after 80, you start like going down. Like, look at Joe Biden. Like when he first started, like I think he was
Joe
80
Biden. Yeah.
when he was vice president, and he seemed like he was going on runs with Obama, like eating ice cream or whatever. And then as soon as he turned like 81, he started like walking like a Roomba after every speech, and he's just like,
Dude, our president right now is 81, bro.
Yeah.
and he's starting
Oh
his
man.
descent down.
And now he's starting. He's like, yep. Oh my! I'm like, he's taking us all there to hell with him, dude. What
Yeah.
the heck, fuck, dude.
Yeah, we're
Sorry,
cooked.
mind my language, dude. But at least in this country, you get to freaking roast the president all day, every day.
Yeah,
And no
I'll
one's gonna
say
send
that.
you to prison. No
Yeah.
prison for me. Yeah. Jeez, dude. Yeah.
So what do you guys
That's
think as Americans, since you guys are both Americans, about what Trump said about Gaza?
relocating them, bro. It's like, what is going on, bro? Like, what is this a troll? Is this a joke? Is this reality? Is
Bro,
this
I
honestly,
really don't know how to react to this guy, man. Like he's just
I
I
nothing
got
to me
allergic.
was more like it. I had to like look at it twice because of how like haunting that image was when he was saying all that kind of stuff. And there was a lady yelling, and she was like, "But that's their home," and fucking Netanyahu was just like smirking the whole
Yeah, he
time.
was laughing the whole time.
I was
So
like,
yeah.
strange.
"This is like, how can you defend something like that?" Like,
You can't.
but there are people that defend it. There are people like
Who?
people that
Where
like are.
they at, bro? Where are they
Do you know?
at?
Do you know the
Yeah,
people
but
that don't know the history and all they can think about is October 7th, and they're just
yeah.
like, "Oh,
Who, bro? Who at this point,
America,
bro?
like almost every like every American that has no Arab affiliation whatsoever or doesn't know
It's
their
not
history.
true, bro. I know tons of friends I have that
There's definitely a lot, but there's like
most everyone, bro. Bro, have you been to a comedy club recently, bro? Everyone, every freaking white guy, Asian guy, black guy, they're all freaking roasting freaking Zionists all day, every day, bro.
no, absolutely, but there's still like a I think there's a ignorant portion of America. You got to think about outside of those big major cities, like outside of LA, New York, Chicago. Like if you go to Milwaukee, there's
Yeah, I'm
gonna
not
be
going there, bro.
yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of people that are just like, yeah, they started it on October 7th. No, I know, and you're just like, dude, there's like 80 years before that. But honestly, he can try. But the one thing I'll say about Palestinian people is that they would rather die than leave their homes. If they were easy to relocate, they would have left a long time ago.
And then
But-
Trump was like, "Well, if you say so." Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he will, and I hope it doesn't actually happen. I hope it's like bluffing, and a lot of Arab countries were like standing their ground, I think, and saying that like we're not gonna accept an influx of Palestinians into Jordan or Egypt.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Did Lebanon say anything?
I mean, I don't. They haven't said anything about it, but
Oh.
I mean, the borders have always been people like people have always been crossing the borders. So, I don't
Isn't
know.
Israel's beef also with Lebanon?
Yeah, they have beef with
Yeah.
everyone, dude. They just want everything. Give it to me. Give me
Yeah,
everything.
They
Bro,
want
we've
the whole
done so
cake,
many
man.
podcasts on this issue. It's just like now there's no looking back at all the horrors they've done, how much of a cancer they are to society and the world.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what are they bringing America? Like, what are they? What are they benefiting us? Like, are they getting us like a big influx of like, oil or like,
We got Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot, give me that
I
Gal.
don't think it's worth the
Give
billions.
me Wonder Woman. Give me. Oh my God, she's so sexy.
But I'm just like billions of dollars for
People
what?
hate her, dude.
What are
Yeah.
we getting in return? I just don't. It doesn't
More
make
money.
sense.
More money.
Dude,
want-
yeah, and then the
They want the offshore oils and the real estate.
pillage resources.
You can take all the land. Yeah.
You're doing the same thing in the Ukraine.
America,
why-
bro, America is the new colonialist, what's it called? UK colonialist, British colonialist. It's like they're
Is
the
the
modern
UK
version.
The UK staying out of all of this now, or what's going on with them?
UK is more
Yeah,
better than everyone else. Yeah, for sure.
they're definitely they were one of the last though to start supporting. Um, but the people support. I mean, the government was one of the last to start supporting the Palestinian situation,
Yeah.
but the people have always been protesting because there's like a massive Arab community within London and like other major cities.
Yeah.
Is
So-
Andrew Tate going to be your new president or what? Or is that a
But
joke?
no, he's going for prime minister,
Is
but
that real?
he declared, but I don't, but he still hasn't run
Is
because
he
it's not the time now. Sorry, what?
He's English.
He's English. Yeah,
Ah.
he's English. I think his dad's English and his mom's
Bro, I don't
American.
know if that's exciting or if that's also horrifying, bro.
I just don't.
Oh, bro, I can't wait to see this, bro. I can't wait. Like, when the moment he comes, I'll leave and I'll just watch from abroad, like third bird eye view.
Bro, I thought the same thing about Elon, but then now he's horrifying me, bro. It's too much.
Yeah.
You can't be living this kind of life like that, you know? You can't be a freaking hateful person ever. And the thing is, I read about Elon's backstory. Elon was very traumatized as a kid. He was bullied and stuff like that. And his dad was an asshole. And his dad
beat
was a
him up.
horrible person. Yes. And so he took his inner rage and he dispersed it amongst all the freaking international people, bro. I don't know, but he's freaking.
He comes from money, though, right?
Yeah, he comes from money. White South African apartheid money.
Yeah.
Him and Netanyahu have a lot in common, that's for sure.
Yeah. Damn.
Woo-wee.
We're cooked,
At
baby.
least the one thing that we got out of this is that now we're no longer, let's say, in the sidelines. You know, us Arabs, Lebanese, Muslims, the Muzzies. Is Muzzies a bad word?
Was he?
I don't know. I said take it back.
How did you get to that, bro?
Sounds like a slur. It sounds like
Yeah.
a redneck.
I take it back.
You
Yeah.
Muslim. It sounds
Rewind.
cool to me, but if I hear if I hear it coming out of like a redneck's mouth, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, don't call me that."
Hey,
But
that's
also-
no, I'm saying now more than ever, you have like, you know, tons of TV shows about like Rami and Mo and about the Arab experience, you know, and Emil Wakim's on SNL, and you have tons of
I do think
Arab
like
exposure.
in the long run,
It's our era.
yeah, we are gonna like we're getting more
Exposure.
exposure on TV. Right now, we're still like we have no control because the government is completely against our people. But like in the long run, the way we're able to like educate people through these shows or through SNL or through all that kind of stuff, it is gonna help us like in the long run. But like Hollywood mostly is controlled by like people that are pro Israel, so that's what like kind of worries me sometimes. Like my comedy manager was like when I was I had a tape that she was using to like submit me to certain like comics to open for them or like bookers and stuff like that. And she has been in the industry for a very long time. She has like a big portfolio, so she's a nice lady. And but she came up to me because part on my clip, like I talk about Palestine at the end. I make it funny, but I do talk about like Palestine and end it on that. And she was just like, "Hey, I really like that you're speaking out. It's very essential in comedy, but just for the tapes that I submit you for, just leave that out. Everything else, post your Palestine stuff or whatever. But a lot of people that I like submit you to have like agencies or managers and stuff like that that are like Israeli or like pro Israel. So like this might
Mm.
like close the door on you that was open for you." And I'm like, damn, it's that like the influence is that big that like I can't even like if somebody liked my comedy and they were willing to get me like a job or like to bring me on tour with them, and then they heard that I talk about Palestine and they're just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that anymore. So that's what worries me about Arabs in the industry. But at the same time, I see that SNL has Emil Wakim and he spoke about Palestine. So I'm just like, okay, maybe there's like loopholes for us to like really talk about what we want to talk about, and there's certain situations where certain
Mm.
rooms and areas where we can't.
I think also with what's currently happening in Palestine, like how much light like has been shed on it and how much media is covering it, it's giving Arabs in certain moments like a bit of a, just giving them a bit of room to actually talk about it. And because now people are aware of what's happening, they have more information. They're willing to also laugh about the jokes and also listen to the Palestinian version of what's of this like of what's happening instead of just focusing what I'm trying to say is the audience is now supporting the Palestinian cause more than before, which is then pressuring the managers to actually allow people to talk about it.
Yeah,
This is my perspective, I could be wrong, but the fact that now more people, more Arabs are getting, space to talk means there is a shift, there is a change.
yeah,
Yeah. Remind me to take this part out of the podcast, though.
What the fuck? Why?
Because they're talking about Palestine. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Ah.
Gotcha. All right, next question.
yeah.
You are not pro autism, you are autism.
No, no, no. You're talking about like that. What I say in stand up. Uh,
Saeed's
what did
crying
I say?
right now. Wait, let
Oh,
him
I
tear up.
say
Let him tear up.
my little brother's autistic, so like, um,
Yeah.
I the way I introduce it, I'm just like I don't want to split the room, but I'm not anti autism, which is just like it's really just a confusing thing to say, and it just makes people be like, well, who's
Not
anti?
anti.
But then if you're
Yeah.
pro, do you just want more autistic people? And if you're anti, do you
Hmm.
want less? This is why it's like a confusing like thing to say.
Mm.
People like chuckle at their confusion. Um,
Mm.
but
Huh?
no, no,
I think I yeah, I think a follow up is like, yeah, I know that's confusing. Makes
yeah,
is a good punchline to
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Or sometimes like I'll introduce it as like I I have one last joke for you guys. I have an autistic younger brother. That's not the joke. There's more, and that will like it's just a way to like autism is one of those things where like people enter that conversation and they're not willing to laugh because it's just like a sensitive topic to
Yeah.
talk. So I always want to introduce it in like a light-ish way, because that's like the hardest thing to get people to laugh at. It's harder than the Palestine stuff. It's harder than
Really?
the grandma stuff because people are like, autism is common in every country, and like
Yeah.
it's it's very likely that every person in that audience knows somebody or knows someone who knows somebody who's autistic. So they're confusing the joke by thinking like the the joke is to like against the autistic people.
Like you're
Or,
bullying someone. It
yeah,
feels like you're bullying someone.
whereas like
But in
no,
reality, yeah, I understand that perspective because like people just like whenever I talk, for example, when I talk to my parents about autism because um I might I might have it and I'm waiting for like to get checked.
I'm
It's so
not
early,
Fuck
bro.
off, Ali. Fuck
I'm,
off, Ali.
I'm not anti. I'm not anti. I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay,
You
fuck
are
both of you.
autism, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are autism, bro. Oh my
But
god.
when I was talking to my parents about it, man, like they're always just like it's as if they become depressed or something. Holy shit, that voice crack was crazy. Anyway, it's like they become depressed because like the examples they know of autism is just the extreme cases, and I think that's what everyone thinks of. It's like when they think of autism, they're like, oh, it's just like completely unable to function.
Yeah,
But
and
that's not true.
they see it as such a negative thing. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, sure, it
Mm,
makes it tough, but like I think there's a big issue in like the Arab community where like we don't like take it seriously. Where like they'll
mm,
be like, oh, he's not like a for the longest time that my parents
yeah.
wouldn't like acknowledge the fact that like my brother was autistic. They'd be like, no, he's just like he's just vibing. And I'm just like, dude, it's not
It's
vibing.
just fine. I know. I like this. I like this statement. We don't want to put a label on it, please. We don't want
Yeah,
to put a
yeah.
label. Bro, that statement kills me. I'm just like, what? It's not. You're not labeling this person. This is just what they have.
It is a
It's
diagnostic.
it's it's a
Yeah,
it's a fact.
yeah. And like so it's like it's hard to for that topic to like bring about. So like I try to like find weird avenues to like enter it. Um, but if they don't laugh, I'm just like screw you guys. Like it's my brother. Like I can do all the jokes I want. Um, but yeah, no, he's a cool dude though. He's yeah. It was just his birthday not too long ago, and
Happy
uh,
birthday,
Oh,
brother.
nice.
Yeah.
yeah,
Happy birthday.
You
uh,
got him a cake?
I well he lives in Turkey.
Side.
Fuck off.
Oh,
I'm
that
never gonna live this down now.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a cake that's flat, and he's gonna be like, "What happened?" And be like, "Oh, she sat on it after she." Like, it's more of a cookie now.
So what is it like living with an autistic brother? Like, first of all, like, what is it like living with them, and how did you react when you first found out that he was autistic?
Honestly, like there's some guilt that comes with it because my parents weren't like very um educated in this area, so then I became uneducated. My siblings were uneducated, so we were just like, um, we didn't try to like I mean, it's good and bad that we weren't like treating him like he was autistic. We would just treat him like a regular person. There are some
Mm.
cases where like, man,
Ooh.
I look back and I'm just like,
Ouch.
I should have went easier on him. Not
Yeah.
easier, but like I should have like really like had more patience or whatever. But then there are some
Mm.
instances where I'm like, this helped him a little bit more in like being
Yeah.
in social settings. Because he was treated like a regular person, which is like it's a good and a bad thing. Where it's like, oh, like he's not being treated like he's special, so he's not like going backwards a little bit
Yeah.
more. He's like kind of like just staying the same. But I mean, we have a good relationship now, so I don't think it was too bad. Um,
Mm. Mm.
but he's cool. He's extremely like autistic people have one thing that they're like extremely smart at, and I don't think autistic people are like. I think they're so smart that they can't like function on our level. Like it's not the opposite. Like they're actually like so like their their brains are so like ahead that it makes them like out of place when it's with us because you tell him
We know. It's hard to be dumb, bro. We know. It's like,
you ask him about directions and he knows exactly like where to go anywhere in the world and
yeah.
Bro, you
but
should take him with you to Syria. You need to make
But
amends, Take him to Syria. You guys
He's
live a great life. He's gonna love it, bro. He's gonna love the
he's
sand
going.
dunes, the
The
freaking.
chaos, the lack of structure and no routine.
No, he's going. He wants to go. So my parents are going first, just to, like, check out the vibe.
Yeah.
And then they're coming back and taking him with them. So I don't know if they're gonna live there or not, but he's chilling either way. He's
He would
either
love it, bro.
yeah.
He'll get recruited into a club. He'll join the club.
He's one of those guys that, like, it's just him and his bike, and no matter where he is, like, he just has his bike. He wakes up, has breakfast, and just goes out on his bike. You don't know what on earth is. And he just comes back, and he's just like, he's a menace, though. I'll say that. There's this one time. This is a funny story that I love telling about him. So like I'm very very defensive against my brother. Like I won't fight anybody if they like try to mess with me, but like with my brother, I like black out because obviously like I know his circumstances or whatever. And this one time in Florida, this kid that I didn't like him. Like he was like in like he was like four. He's my brother's age, and my brother's like 3 years younger than me. And I was like a freshman in high school, and that kid and my brother and that kid were in middle school, and he lived like a few houses down. And then I never liked his vibe. He just looked, it seemed like a delinquent kid that was always up to trouble or whatever. And I was right. He ended up like going to jail for robbing houses.
Oh my god.
But
Shit.
I just had a bad vibe against this kid. And then one time I'm just at home, and my brother walks in, and he's just like, "Hey, that kid's trying to fight me." And I was like, "Who?" And I look out, and it's that kid on a bike. And I was like, "Oh hell no! Like I'm about to go to jail. Like I don't care." I mean, we were both minors, so like I wouldn't have gone to jail. He was only like, so I marched outside, and I'm like ready to like fight this kid that's like half my size. And I'm just like, "What the hell's your problem, dude?" And this kid's lips started quivering, and he was just like, "Every time I pass by your house, your brother calls me a bitch. I can't take it anymore." And I was just like,
He broke down.
I was like,
He
"What?"
manipulated you to harass the kid.
His breaking point.
I was like, "What was that?" And he was just like, "It's been like 5 days. Every time I pass by here to go home, he calls me a bitch, and he just laughs at me." And I look back at my brother, and he's just like from the window, and he's like, and I had to like really dial it down to the kid, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna talk to him. This is unacceptable behavior. Listen, you have a good night. This will never happen again." He was like, "Okay, okay," and he just like takes his bike back to his house. And I go to my brother, and I'm just like, "Have you been calling him a bitch for the past 6 days?" And he was just like, "No, it's just like I was just messing with him." And I was
Oh,
humbled me.
okay. Great question. Great question. I love that question. Next question, Saeed. Mate,
um,
you're gonna read
here,
it or
go
should
ahead,
I
Ali.
read it?
No, you go for it. You're reading better.
Mate, your stand-up style is TED Talk style.
Yeah, it's very um, it bites me in the ass. I'll say that. Like I mean I'm still trying to like find my voice. Like I'm not like deep. I'm not like 10 years deep into stand up. I've only been doing it for like 4 years or whatever. And the first 2.5 years, you're just trying to like figure out your voice. Um,
Yeah.
I forgot who this quote is from. But I think he was a drummer. Well, he was like, it took me 10 years to learn how to play like myself, because like the first 10 years, um, it's like you're doing an unintentional impression of your idols or like who you watched. So I think like my first 2.5 years of stand up, I was doing like um, a weird mix between my three like favorite comedians, which were like Robin Williams, Dave Chappelle, and Nate Bargatze. And not that I wanted to, it's just like I didn't know how to like be a comedian. So like I would just like do like a little fake hybrid of all these three people. And then now like I'm kind of like figuring it out. It's very like low energy talk type of thing. And sometimes it's cool, but like you have to really pay attention and like be willing to like. You can't just like stumble upon my video and being like, oh, off the bat, this is hilarious. But if you listen, you might like what you're hearing or like laugh. But it's very TED Talk. It's very like I like to sit down. Um, it's almost like a conversation that I'm having instead of like slapstick, uh, flip and fall type of jokes. But I
Sounds
try to
good.
mix it up a little bit. I think I have to at the beginning of my career. Like I think when you're established and you have a fan base and people like you, you can just rely on the whole like TED Talk narrative and like sit down and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But when you're still like newer to the scene or like not fully established, you do have to like not just be like that. You have to like kind of do the standing up stuff, the quick jokes, the simple stuff that people don't have to think about, or else you're
Mm.
gonna lose the audience.
I
Wow,
don't know,
great
man.
question.
I feel like I enjoy the part that you're sticking true to yourself, and well, whoever doesn't like your true self, then fuck them. Like you said,
Yeah,
you don't like you do want to find the people that do enjoy your stuff, and the only way to do that is to always do your stuff. Because if you do
absolutely.
something, if an impression of someone or something else, then maybe you miss an opportunity of actually finding an audience that would have liked your true form,
Of
which you
course. Yeah.
enjoy doing more.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, sorry, dropping wise bombs right there, but that's
No, no,
what I
yeah.
wanted to say.
No, I mean I don't have like a big fan base or anything like that, but I will say there's like a family in India that loves my stuff, and every time I post something, they like text me and they're
Fuck
like
yeah.
"I'm from India. Um,
Love that, bro. That's amazing.
and when I was like doing crowdfunding for my for like a film that I like directed earlier this year, when I was doing crowdfunding and stuff, they donated like
Yeah.
$50, and I was like, bro, if my fan base is in India, like I'll go to
Whoa.
India every year and just like tour around India and then just come back and be
Oh,
a
fuck
nobody
yeah.
in the US. Yeah, exactly.
You have
But
1.5 billion people there, bro. It's like,
exactly.
just fuck it. Just go.
Yeah. But I do try to like be wise about it where I'm not just like if you don't like me, you don't like me. Like I still want to like mix it up a little bit. And then when I'm
Mm,
up there, I'll do like the sit down TED Talk stuff only. But for right now, I have to compromise a little bit. I think compromising isn't always bad. Like
fair,
I'll
fair.
yeah, I'll compromise a little bit and I'll do the quick
I
stuff.
mean, your idols are also really good to impersonate. Like Robin Williams' energy is just fucking amazing.
I,
And
I will say he's like
it's,
I when I say impersonating Robin Williams, like I it wasn't even close to like looking like Robin Williams comedy. In my head, I
mm.
was thinking about Robin Williams,
Yeah.
but I don't think his comedy is a comedy that can be replicated. I think his talent
Mm,
is very very one of one. And there's a documentary about Robin Williams called "Come Inside My Mind" because he had like a they basically break down like his stand up, and he would be like extremely quiet before a show, never had any material, like he never had like written material, and he would just like be quiet, and then as soon as the curtains open for him, he just goes nuts to the crowd, and it's like voices and they doing stuff like that, and it was like beyond crowd work. He would like do skits by himself, and he has this really famous bit where he like uses like an alien voice, and he'll pause, and he'll like open his like brain, and he'll be like, "Come inside my mind," and he'll pull out like a piece of paper, like an imaginary piece of paper from his head, and like start reading it, and it's like a weird thought that he has. And I was like, wow, what a signature, like, what a cool signature thing to have, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then I'm watching the documentary, and his friends are talking about the "Come Inside My Mind" bit, and they were like, "Oh, that wasn't like a power move that he had. That was if anytime he did the "Come Inside My Mind" thing, he ran out of things to say, and he's about to panic. So he like does that, and it makes people like excited and laugh already. And he'll grab the paper, and that gives him enough time to think about something. And I was like, oh, so this whole time he's doing that because he's struggling, but he's making it seem like he's like doing
it's part
great.
of the performance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of the performance. So when I say I'm doing like imitation of him, it's only in my head. It doesn't look like Robin Williams. It doesn't sound like Robin Williams. It doesn't even look like an interpretation of Robin Williams because I don't
I'm
think that's
inside my beard.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Next
It's
question,
I
Said.
probably do
We
a
have a
bit of
few more
that.
questions to go
Just
through,
like, but
bro. روق علينا سعيد روق علينا شوي روق روق
okay, man.
روق يا
We're chilling
فاروق
here.
bro.
يعني we're vibing. خلي
Yeah,
خلص
Your
روق.
mom was in Syrian jail for 10 years.
yeah.
That's how we're ending this. Fucking hell.
Bro, what?
Anyway.
It's not an ending, bro. It's a question.
Okay. So the
Yeah,
headset.
she was in there for 10 years. She it's kind of like, do I have the book? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, go grab it. He's gonna sit on a cake.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. I'm never gonna
Bro,
forgive
get
you,
that
Said.
TikTok money, bro. Oh no, wait, TikTok is banned in the US.
Oh my god.
Sheesh. YouTube
Said, you
reels,
never
YouTube
told me
reels.
that's what you were into, bro.
Bro, I didn't know I was into that shit, you know? That I found out. That was the first time. It just came up.
And you loved it. And you had to comment.
I had to comment, bro.
This is the book that got her banned.
That's a nice cover, bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty good shit.
I mean, I would have liked if she like put her face on it or something, but it's just like a shadow of bars, and I was like, all right, very artsy, I guess. And this is like the Arabic version.
Bro, this is the creative side.
Two very contrasting covers.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was in prison for 10 years. She didn't really do anything. They just needed somebody to take from her family. And it's tough. Like, it was a lot of like torture routines, and it's basically like the Alcatraz of Syria.
Yeah.
And they let her out after 10 years and told her not to say anything, but she wrote a book instead. So she didn't technically say anything. She wrote about it. But there's it's a crazy story. Like, there's, for example, like my mom was with one of her friends from her prison cell. Like, there was like 30 women to a cell. Like, it was very like, and the cells weren't big at all. And when they would get like outdoors time, this is like a funny story where one of her friends there had a daughter, and there was like a small tiny like hole under one of like the fences or the walls, and they would sneak in her friend's daughter to come see her mom for like a little bit, and when the guards weren't looking, and then like quickly she would like leave under like the wall and go out back. And that girl that they used to sneak under the wall became my brother's mother-in-law.
Whoa.
Which is like very, very small world. And I'm just like, damn, who would have known that like somebody that like insignificant to your like prison time would become like a relative, you know?
Yeah. Who knew your autistic brother would get married as well?
Yeah. No, like,
Nice one, Said. GG.
hey,
Well done.
She,
All right.
that was autistic.
Come inside my
Speaking
beard.
of,
Inside my beard.
Next question. Said, you have to read this next question. This was your question.
okay, yes, I brought up the topic anyway. You and your partner are so multiracial, your child would be confused. If he does at 21 and me, it will be multiple choice selection.
Yeah, well, I think if they took a 23andMe, it'll just be like a colored paper, or it's like a rainbow, and I'll
50 Shades of Races.
Yeah, I'll just get like a paper with a rainbow on it. I mean, like, oh, I guess you're gay. Like,
Oh man. So where actually is your partner from? Like
Dominican.
Dominican Republic. Okay.
Yeah, so she was born in Dominican Republic. She grew up in like mainly in Florida, but in New York and Florida. And we met in high school in Florida, because that's where I went to high school. And it's kind of like I never like because you know how like culturally like we're not like parents don't want us to like just date, especially outside of the culture and stuff like that. So I was like afraid of dating, but I think I just knew that like I mean we've been together for like 12 years, and I
Oh,
think I
damn.
just
Oh, sorry.
yeah, and I think I just kind of I think I knew at the time I was just like okay yeah
Pull the Kevin Hart.
this is for the long run, um, and we started dating and then like I moved here, we did long distance for a little bit,
Mm.
but it's been cool. It's nice to like I like not that like I date based off of like race, but like I like the different cultures in like a relationship. I think it's cool. Like that like I
Mm.
get to learn about Dominican culture and um they have like great food and they do eat spaghetti for breakfast, which I am very opposed to. And
Okay. Yeah.
they have spaghetti for breakfast, and then when they go to the beach, they have spaghetti and meat sauce.
Okay.
I need some right
Absolutely does
now.
not make sense, and it's not like one of those things where you have to experience it. You'll experience it, and you'll be like, "This doesn't make any sense, dog. I feel like I'm gonna vomit." like, um,
Yeah.
but they have like
Maybe there are some things that, when you're they like seeing someone of a different culture, there's some things that you guys have to talk over and say
absolutely,
that,
absolutely.
yeah, maybe this might be a bad idea. Just saying.
Absolutely. And like with Arabs, I think like for her it would be like the whole like sitting on the floor to eat or like eating from shared
Mm-hmm.
plates. That to her is like a foreign concept, and she'll be like, "Why doesn't each person have their plate?" And I was like, "It's different. Like you gotta like
Mm.
you have to like each eat from your like, plate
Mm.
until you all combine into like one
I'm so
small
hungry,
island."
bro.
Um,
Yeah, your hand is like sticking in the other person's mouth, and you're just like feeding each other. Yeah, I'm starting to see why that's actually a bad idea. Yeah.
yeah,
And then you get bit, and then you're like, ow.
that to her is like
You
a
know,
foreign concept. But
yeah.
the like I like like Dominican culture a lot. I've been there like twice. It's a very very beautiful country. And they're like there's like I look at those people and I'm like, do you guys even know there's like wars going on right now? They seem so happy and like all they care about is dancing and eat like all
Yeah.
they do is eat and dance, eat and dance. Eat. I'm just like, you don't know anything that's happening. Like the world's falling apart right now. Like fires in California, the new president. Oh my god, we're like stressed out, and you guys are just cruising.
I know.
Maybe they
We
know
should.
what's the right way, man. They know the right way to live.
And she likes to like learn about Arab culture too, which is like nice.
Mm.
Recently, like one of my Palestinian friends uh, taught her a very bad Arabic word, and
Oh,
she was saying it. Can I curse on here in Arabic? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
well? He taught her the word kusamak, but she was saying it like Kazamik. And she would walk around, she'd be like, Kazamik. And I'd be like, that doesn't mean anything. She was like, okay, then Kazamik. And every time I do something bad, she'd be like, Kazamik. And I'm like, what is she saying? And then I started like writing it and I was like, with a Z, and I was like, Kazamik. And then I would change like certain letters and I was like, are you trying to say Kazamik? And she was just like, yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, don't go up to a random Arab and be like, Kusamak. like that will get you into a
That's
brawl. Dude.
hilarious. Why does your girlfriend look so different in every photo? Filipino,
Okay,
Taiwanese,
well, why
black,
did
how Dominican so diverse? That's
Bro,
Said's question.
I don't
she
think we had to do this question.
no this question. I want to do this question. She I think if I like she's not an actress, she's not anything, but I think she's like a casting director's dream because like you don't know where she's from. Like when we went to Hawaii, she looked like a Hawaiian. When we're uh in like an Asian part of town, she looks like she's one of them. There was one time where we were in downtown LA, already a bad idea, but we were in downtown LA walking, and some like I know he was a crackhead because he was like he looked like he was on something, and he was walking like in our direction, and he was just like staring at her and me, and I was like, here we go, like now I have to get in trouble. And then he walks past us, and I was like, okay, thank God. We keep walking, and he'd be like, hey yo, and I turn around, I was like, what's up, man? And he was like, You gotta keep her, man. Don't let her go. Don't. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, and it turned out to be something sweet. He's like, don't let her go, and I was like, I won't, man. I won't. He's like, you gotta keep her around, treat her good, and I was like, I will, I will. He was like, man, I love Asian women, and we were like, what was that? He was like, I love me an Asian queen. I need to go to the Philippines. And we were just like, don't engage in any more. Like, if we start talking to him, it was like, oh, she's Dominican, that's gonna open a can of worms. He's gonna want to have a conversation. And we
And
were
she
just
was
like,
like, "Thank you." And then he
thanks,
left.
man. Like, but she even like, I feel like even in like, I mean, I don't know if all Middle Eastern countries, but I feel like even if you drop her in like a Middle Eastern country, she might blend in a little bit. I don't know. She just looks very ambiguous. She could be lying to
And the
me. I
first the first term that popped in my head when we were doing our research was Malaysian.
Like, yeah, she also looks mixed too.
Uh,
I mean, I can just like fabricate. Like, if I'm talking to like a mixed person, be like, oh, my girlfriend's mixed. If I'm talking to an Asian, like, yeah, my girlfriend's Asian. If I'm talking to,
oh, you look mixed as well. Like that's the thing. That's why your child might be confused.
I look like I'm from Kentucky, dude. I don't look mixed at all. Like, I'm so like I was so bummed when I came to like Los Angeles. I was like, yo, like, they're just starting to like, have to include diversity, but I know Hollywood's racist, so like, I think it's a good time for me because they'll
Yeah.
cast me and I look like a white guy, so they don't have to like cast like darker Arab people. I was like, I think I'm gonna grab every role there is, but I think Hollywood went too much the other way, so that now they're only casting like brown people, like brown, like probably just Pakistani and Urdu people. Like I don't match. If I'm auditioning for anything Arab, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not getting this, dude.
Mm.
There was one time I
Uh,
auditioned for like this show, and it was like a decent show, and he, this is the first red flag. They said, um, you have to. It's Arab speaking role. You must be fluent in Arabic. Um, Character is Persian, and
okay.
I was like, oh, okay. They don't speak Arabic in Persia. They speak Persian. Whatever. Like, I'll just go
Farsi,
in.
bro.
Yeah, Farsi. Yeah. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just do the audition or whatever. And I did it, and they were just like, wow, like you're very like fluent and the language. I was like, yeah. Like, well, I don't understand what's the surprise. They're like, well, we're actually looking for like an authentic like Arab character for diversity and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, I'm like 100% Syrian. There's nothing else in my blood. And they were like, oh, okay. And they were just confused, and they just let me go or whatever. And the person who got the part is a Mexican dude who doesn't speak Arabic at all. And I remember looking at his like profile, and it was like very much like Latino like actor or whatever.
Yeah.
And then right before the announcement like became public, they changed to like Latino Persian actor so and so. And I was like, wow, like they straight up were just like, we're gonna cast this like Mexican, but then we're just gonna pretend like he's also Persian so it can like fit our like criteria. But I
I
was
think
just
you
like,
should, from my perspective, I think you should take advantage of the fact that you look white and just own it, you know.
yeah,
But then speak fluent Arabic and be, like it's like, yeah, I'm Arab. Like wait until they actually cast you and everything, and then it's set, and then be like, "Fuck you bitches, I'm actually
yeah,
Arab."
I know. Yeah, it's a
That's a
good.
Trojan horse.
That's true.
Exactly. Trojan horse Hollywood, bro. That's how Arabs should do it. We should be the Achilles to them and just yeah. Anyway,
Saeed wrote this question, and it's a very awkward question, but you look like what
oh,
everyone is going to look like in 200 years. You are the singularity. You are AI.
this is not a question anymore.
Wait,
can
me?
we can we pretend you are ChatGPT? Why did you write that, bro?
Okay, this is just me basically pulling a Robin Williams and writing it onto the Excel sheet. Let's go.
Dude, that's such a funny statement, though. I look like what everybody's gonna look like in 200 years.
Mm.
Can we
You
just
are the
play?
singularity.
Yeah.
Imagine they put like a face to ChatGPT and it's literally just me, and I'm like, here to answer all your questions. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Bro, I don't know. Science questions are getting weird.
It's,
You're so wise, you know.
come inside my mind and then sit on whatever.
And then a question about FOMO.
Hmm.
He's like, you have so much FOMO.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I said. It says the amount. Wait, do you?
The amount of FOMO is unprecedented. That was the question.
It was a statement.
Do
We don't know on what.
you have FOMO? Can we talk about it?
I think I do have. Is it FOMO to like feel like you're missing out on like opportunity because you're not doing things right? Is that FOMO?
I think FOMO is like, oh, there's a party next door and you want to be part of the party.
You don't miss out. I don't feel like that
No,
with
I
parties.
that's a wiser perspective. I think he's thinking about like life opportunities, not just
Yeah.
you're
Because
looking at everything as an opportunity, basically.
absolutely, yeah. Because I'm not really like I've never been like a big party guy, or a
Mm.
clubs guy type of thing. But I do think like sometimes
Chicken club
I
sandwich.
I have like a I have FOMO when it comes to like there's like a networking thing or there's like a comedy show that I know like a lot of people are gonna be at,
Mm.
and it's like I kind of want to go, but at the same time like my social battery's drained, or like I have work to do on the computer or editing and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, it's a better idea for me not to go. I will have FOMO in those kind of instances where I'm just like, because I'm
Mm.
in a point in my life where like I have to like pull all the stops. Like I'm almost 30. Like I can't kind of relax.
Damn, you look like a college student, my guy.
I'm going
Damn, you look like you're a sophomore in freaking UC Irvine.
but that's what scares me.
Hey.
That's what scares me. Like I'll look young now, but I feel like it's gonna like 1 year. I'm just gonna go from like a college kid to like gray hair, like just my whole
Wrinkles.
face
You're
is
just
gonna be
ready to
like,
burst. Just
yeah.
everything's gonna come out.
So I'm trying to prepare for that when that happens. But
So,
yeah, I do have FOMO when it comes to like opportunity.
yeah.
For
Respect.
My
example,
final question.
for
My final
example,
question would be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say, for example, when I missed out on the first podcast, I had FOMO. But yeah, that was a come inside my mind
The
moment.
amount of FOMO is unprecedented, Saeed.
Yeah.
So, so based on what you just said, I might be profiling you a bit and just doing a bit of my own analysis.
I like
But
that.
have you ever considered actually? Of course, you like that. Based on what I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna find out. Have you ever considered getting tested yourself?
Getting tested
Yeah.
for like HIV or whatever, or tested for what?
Autism, bro. Autism. The
Oh,
spectrum.
honestly,
Bro, you're so far in it, bro.
I was like, do I look like like they're just looking at me and they're like, yeah, that guy definitely has HIV. There's no way.
You've been doing it too much up the butt.
I don't know. I mean, I would be down to get tested, but like, I doubt that I have it. I just don't want to be one of those guys that's like, I'm autistic. Like, I was at a comedy show yesterday, and this girl who had like a just shitty attitude the whole show.
Yeah.
She's a comedian, but like, she just like didn't want to talk to anybody. But like, not, I don't think it's out of social anxiety. Like, she had like headphones in her ears, and people would try to talk to her, and she'd be like, "I'm listening to music." And people would be like, "Oh, sorry about that. Like, I was just gonna compliment your like that." She just had a shitty attitude, and then she went on stage and she started talking about how she's autistic, and people kept wanting to talk to her, but she don't want to talk to them. I was just like, I don't think you're autistic, girl. Like, I just think you're just using that to be rude. So like, I never thought about it where I'm just like, oh, I think I'm autistic, but I mean, I'm always down to get a test. You know what I mean? Like, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
My guy, I love tests, bro. Let's do it, bro. Any kind of test, bro.
Spectrum,
SAT,
spectrum,
freaking
خيي.
spectrum
Rainbow.
test. Give it to me, bro. Okay, last test. What about a parental test? Side, your
What?
last question. What
Hey,
happens
حل
once
عني
you
with my
get
questions, bro.
what happens once you get bored? You wish you would have kids.
What?
What happens when I get bored?
This is a side question again.
You wish you would have. Wait. Let me try to get the context so I can actually explain this.
Y'all
Give
were
me a
high
sec.
on a kite when these questions are coming out.
No, bro. No, the kite was on the floor. I promise you. But
These are
what
cracking.
happens once you get bored? You wish.
These are
Oh,
you're like,
I think
and you're
so. You
just like,
might have said that you don't like or want kids or some shit like that. I don't know. Have I? Is that correct? Or maybe. Oh, what I was thinking is the fact that you're still with your girlfriend for the past 12 years and you guys still haven't, you haven't popped the question and had a child already or any of that sort. Maybe that's what I was thinking. I'm not sure.
no,
Like my brain could have gone many ways. I don't
no,
know.
no. We haven't done any of those things because we don't like each other that much. But no, I'm just joking.
Ah,
We,
okay. I mean that makes sense. Yeah, fine. You wanna have a long, like tutti frutti with the booty. I mean, it's fine. No problem.
no,
خلاص.
we haven't like we have this like mutual agreement where like if we're
Mm,
not like stable in our lives, we're not getting married, and if we're not like so financially comfortable, then we're not gonna have kids. Like not just financially stable, but like financially comfortable. My girlfriend's
yeah.
philosophy. My girlfriend's a big Disney like girly, and like she loves Disney and stuff like that. And
Disney
her philosophy,
adult.
Disney a little bit like on below. She's a Disney fan who shits on Disney adults, but will shit on you if you don't like Disney as much. It's a very small gray area, but
Yeah,
Respectable.
very niche. Yeah, we can see.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's why she's very multiracial looking and stuff.
yeah,
So
exactly, exactly.
she
She's
okay.
every Disney character combined into one person,
Bro,
and
yeah. Pixar are looking for their next lead. So,
yeah,
send their CV.
and it's this Filipino slash Hispanic slash mixed slash but she has this philosophy that she always says where she's just like, I won't have kids until I can ask the question, how many churros do you want instead of would you like a churro? And I
Oof.
I was just like, what is it that you mean? Are you high? Like what is that? But she the hell's this churro philosophy analogy?
I, I love it. It's churros of all things,
Yeah,
It's like,
but she wants she her question is always gonna be how many of these do you want instead of do you
How many
want
shawarmas do you want?
exactly.
You want a
yeah,
chicken
yeah,
and a meat or two chickens?
So that's her philosophy, and that's why we don't like, and we don't feel like a rush to have kids or anything like that. We're fine like the way we're not trying to force it to like
yeah. Mm.
force something different, you know, which is I think like a healthier thing. Like I know a lot of people that like um out of when I got out of high school, like and they were in college, like they are you, are you
You okay, Ali?
shit?
Yeah? It's fine. Ignore him. Ignore him. He's fine. Don't worry. Ignore him. Keep going.
He's like dying, and we're like talking about philosophical question, and he's like, uh,
Let him breathe. Don't worry. Don't
uh,
don't put pressure on him or he'll pop.
but he's dying. I don't want to be a complicit of.
Don't worry.
Uh,
No. You're fine. You're fine. Don't worry. All good. All good, brother. All good.
Okay.
but yeah, we don't feel rushed into any of this stuff. Like, if we can never have kids, we're fine. We're not too stressed about it. There's way more things to be stressed about. And honestly, like I'm always down to adopt. Like if I make it later in my life and I can't have kids anymore, then there's so many orphans out there. I'm such a hero, guys. Like I'm so proud of myself.
Wow. Oh my God. I'm falling in love. Can I be at the wedding, please?
Of course, you can be part of. You're my best man. You're gonna be my best man or woman. I
You
don't want to assume.
you got it. No, you got it, bro.
Of course,
Best bachelor's party. You're done. Khalas. You're cooked in a good way. No, you're like,
I love it. I love it.
I'll cook. Ali is cooked now. He's smoked.
Yeah.
He's roasted. He's just
You
done.
killed me, bro. You literally killed me.
Man was dying on the side.
This is the first time I just like scratch my head and Ali just dies. I don't know what's going on.
That was the funny thing. Just us answering a question, and he's just like, he's like, "Ah." and we're like, answering these philosophical questions about kids, and he's just like,
He's like, fucking kids. I work with them all the time.
you're like, he's struggling for air, and we're just like, yeah, kids is like,
Man, this is the philosophy of life. And it's like, gotta get the kids, gotta have the good life. And he's kids, stop.
I have one last question, bro.
yeah,
Oh my God, Ali, خلاص يعني, too much.
no,
Joe Rogan انت. Go. يلا go.
Just Oscar predictions. Any predictions for the Oscars?
I hope. I haven't seen Emilia
Voice
Perez.
crack.
I haven't seen Emilia Perez, but based off of the small clips that I've seen,
Mhm.
I don't understand how this movie is even nominated or won Best Musical at the Golden Globes. But I think The Brutalist is going to get Best Picture,
Fuck yeah.
and
Adrian Brody.
I think Sebastian Stan is going to win Best Actor, and I think he's still tied.
He's gone.
Hold on, let me see who's nominated. One
It's
second.
just pain in my ribs, bro. Oh my god.
And you're the one who's learning martial arts, bro. I just took you out from across the ocean with words. With words, Ali.
With
No
laughter,
need for
bro.
like a roundhouse spin kick, whatever bullshit that you do.
And I think for Best Actress, Demi Moore might take
Okay.
it. Do you know what? Oh, and Best Animated Feature, this movie called Flow that I watched. It's literally like an animated
All about
movie.
flow.
It's about a cat, and there's no dialogue. Like she's an actual cat, like a regular cat. Like it's not like a talking cat or anything. It's just a cat, and it's an animated
It's not
movie.
Garfield, yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very, very good. Yeah, those are like my top like contenders. I do think the Oscars now, what they do is that they nominate, which is kind of messed up, but it's not bad. They nominate like the movie that everybody dressed up to go watch, but they never let it win. Like last year they nominated Barbie and didn't give Barbie any awards. And this year they nominated Wicked and they not giving it any awards. And I think that like this year they're gonna do the same thing. Next year it's like a new trend that they have just to like make people watch it more. Because I think the Oscars like kind of fell off a little bit after like the slap
Yeah.
and the year before that. So now they're just like, if we nominate Barbie, all the Barbie fans are gonna tune in, but then we're not gonna give it any awards. And then same thing with Wicked. So that I think I have a theory that's their like actual strategy that they're doing, but
That's a theory.
but I think
manipulating the
A
votes.
film theory.
yeah, but I think The Brutalist is gonna take Best Picture. I haven't even seen The Brutalist, but it's just giving me vibes that
Bruh. Yeah, oh my
I haven't seen a lot of the nominated movies. I've been just like so unfortunately I've been just like just busy with things, but I'm gonna watch them all before the Oscars.
holy.
But the Brutalist looks like a Oscar winner, even though it's like 4 hours long and has intermission. But yeah, and
Wait,
Adrian
4
Brody,
hours long? Fuck.
it's like 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think.
I was gonna watch it this Sunday. Now
And it actually has intermission,
okay.
actual intermission,
Which
Yeah,
is
I
what
saw-
I'll have to plan around it. I'll have to plan around it.
which is such a miracle for this movie to happen because like usually it's like the shorter the movie, the easier it is for it to be made. Like when I was
Yeah.
I wrote a screenplay based off my mom's book, and when I was like shopping it around and like pitching it to like certain producers, I remember I originally my script, like I have a problem with overwriting. Like I don't know
Mm.
how to make short format. I always know how to make like very long movies. And I had sent it to this producer that like I had a connection to a connection to a connection with. And he's like, yeah, send it over. I'll give it a read. I sent it to him, and he sends it back within like 5 minutes with just no. Like he just put no on it. Which honestly, there's multiple things you could have wrote instead of that, just not like. And I was just like, I'm
It was
sorry.
very
Like
strict, very yeah.
I was like, did the file not work? Like what's going on? He was like, I'm an independent producer, and your script is 170 pages, which means it'll be 170 minutes long, which is like 3 hours and some change. That's not feasible. And I was like, oh, okay, you could have just put that in the email, like, like you didn't have to do that. And that kind of taught me a lesson. So like, I started writing like I was unemployed at the time. This was like when I first moved to LA, so I just pulled an all nighter and I shortened it down to 117 pages. And I sent it back, and he was like, "Oh, did you have like another copy?" And I was like, "No, I just haven't slept yet." Doing it. And then he gave it a read, and he ended up passing on it because he just didn't have like it's a period piece, which just takes a lot of money. But like seeing how hard it is to even get somebody to read a script that's longer than 100 pages, for
Yeah.
them to make a 345-minute uh like movie, to even get somebody to read it is very impressive.
That
So
wasn't 345 minutes.
3 hours and 45. Sorry, 3 hours
Yeah.
and 45. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know, but I'll watch it soon. I've been just watching older movies recently, um and stuff. So, what's you guys' favorite movie?
Oh,
I'm
Wait, now
curious.
we
Toy
get to
Story.
ask questions. Now he's gonna ask us questions. I love this part.
This is the can we pretend you're ChatGPT, right? This is the part. This is bro. I swear, I see ahead everything. I see everything. Like it was all prepared, pre-made, premeditated. Anyway, continue. Favorite movie, Ali, go.
Oof. I mean, I'm a big cinephile. My letterbox says, um, 400 Blows, Francois Truffaut, old French film, Blue Velvet, David Lynch. Love that movie.
Mm.
Oh,
R.I.P. The
Lord
goat.
of the Rings. I do love the Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
Yeah, how about some of those? There's no Arabic Lord of the Rings, bro. When are they gonna make the freaking Arabic Lord of
That's
the
true.
Rings?
Do you
Oh,
guys
that would be
think?
crazy.
Do you guys think? Oh, wait, Zaid, what's your favorite movie?
Toy Story, the franchise. Mainly, I think the biggest one was Toy Story 3.
Because you relate to Woody.
Yeah, I love Woody. I literally had a toy Woody for like most of my childhood years.
You look
Yeah,
like an Arab Woody.
I relate to Potato
like
Head
this.
because of his relationship
Pota-
with his
Potato Head. He's just always falling apart. What?
yeah, always falling apart. No, that franchise is great. I mean, it pulled Apple out of being bankrupt, so it's a very big.
Saving lives, bro.
Legendary.
Saving lives as well.
That's right. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, David Lynch. Uh, I loved watching that man direct more than I loved watching his movies. His movies were great, but like the shit he says while he's directing is the funniest thing ever. He has this like one of my favorite clips ever is that he's watching like I forgot what he was directing. Maybe it was Blue Velvet or something, but he has his headphones in his ear. The scene finishes, and he was like, "Cut," and he watches it, and he was like, "All right, let's do that again. This time, good." And then he puts his headphones back in his ear, and I was like, "What a like funny ass piece
Yeah,
of."
he's hilarious.
But yeah, I was shocked when he passed.
It's gonna happen to all of us, dude.
That's right.
One
Wait,
thing's guaranteed, bro. We all have birthdays. We all have death days.
wait, did he die at 80? I wonder if he died at the perfect age.
I hope there was cake on his birthday or
Did they
his
sit
death
up?
day.
I like how he's doing the ChatGPT work as well. Like
78.
Googling. He died 78. Just missed it by 2 years. Damn.
What would you guys do to Google? I would just like let me see how old he was when he died, and I just go like 80.
Jeez.
That's how we confirm you're from the future, bro, and you're AI. That's for sure.
I'm the human ChatGPT.
I know, gone too
Exactly,
soon.
exactly.
We should have traded David Lynch for Quentin Tarantino. That's for sure.
That's right.
That's right, my man.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we
All right.
end the podcast, man. Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Get a cake, sit on the cake, eat the cake.
Put the cake inside your mind. Take it out, sit on it.
Do you have any shows coming
Okay.
up soon?
Not this month. Wait, what's this month? February.
This February. Hey,
No,
computer, what month is it?
It is February.
February, yeah. No, I have like 2, I think, towards the end of this month, and then, I might be not doing any shows in March because I'm trying to like do a film, and I'm gonna focus on that a little
Mhm.
bit, and then I'll return to shows and stuff. So I have like 2 coming up, and then afterwards I might kind of stay low a little bit and then come right back up. But you never know. They'll come.
Being
they'll
low
come.
key, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You gotta shout it out. You gotta do it with energy. It's like, I got a movie coming. You know,
Yeah.
you have a movie.
No, I do it with low energy. That way, when the movie's great, I can play it like just do this movie.
Yeah, bro, that's chill.
Something like you know,
You're trying to play the humble card. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, we get
the
it.
hard part. But deep down,
I
I'm
don't
like,
think that works, but it doesn't work in like capitalistic society, does it?
that's true.
You have
Yeah,
to take advantage of that. So those
maybe I'll
moments, you know.
maybe I'll do both. I'll like shout it out, and then I'll be low key about it somewhere else, and then see how it
Yeah,
works.
exactly. Just change the name. Don't say you're. It's not. You're not showing off. You're marketing. You're self-marketing. That's what.
I like that.
There you go. Change exactly. Exactly.
Smart guy.
There you go. Yeah, 100%, bro. تعالي.
Is he
Side,
okay?
you disgust me, bro. You're freaking disgusting, bro, with your freaking
Bro,
cake freaking
I'm a genius.
obsession,
You
bro.
just have to accept me for who I am. That's it. You know?
All right,
خلاص,
Said.
man. Don't kick. يعني عندي مشاكل. I have problems. Fuck me, man. I haven't done this shit in like so long.
He's just banging his head on the table.
Am I gonna be okay?
Okay. No. Anyway, Yaser, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
you
We've
for
had so
having me.
much fun with you. We salute to cover the camera. If you want, you can join us. Guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace.
Wee. Okay.